Hello once again. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for keeping time. Thank you for making it to the call. I understand many of us are just heading out from work, heading home, from wherever it is that you're logging in. We are excited to have you. We are happy to have you, and you're most welcome. This is our episode 5 of this webinar series that are monthly, and this series are brought to you by Quantivibe Media. Before I get into that, let me just have a few shout outs. Hi, Agnes. I see Agnes on the call. Hi, Alfred, Joel, Emmanuel. Good
Hi,
evening.
Margaret. How are you?
Isaiah. Hi, Deborah, Marjorie, Simon. Happy to have all of you on the call. Thank you so much for joining us. Oh, okay. I'm getting some thumbs up. Thank you. So if you'd allow me, hi Marjorie. Yes, as usual, I'm your host. My name is Margaret Chirabo Namale. I'm the marketing officer at Kingdom Trading Limited. Kingdom Trading is an official distributor of the IWB Premium Baby Care brand. For those of you on the call who have heard about it, somewhere you're using it, yeah, we are the people. Kingdom Trading is a household essentials distribution company. We have a branch here in Uganda and in Kenya. These webinar series are brought to you by Quantivibe Media. Quantivibe Media Limited is a creative digital content and media production company. Yeah. Their core media services are live streaming and videography. They do professional photography, documentary production as well. So don't be stuck out there, whether you are a government entity, private entity, NGO, you name it, they have you covered. Yeah. They do digital and social media management as well, where they offer end-to-end content strategies, template planning, and they also manage, pages like TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn, you name it. Yeah. It's your one-stop, what should I call it? One-stop agency for all your media needs. Yeah, so we appreciate each and every one of you that has supported Quantivibe Media in whatever way that you really have. It doesn't go unnoticed. Thank you so much. So if you'd allow me to recap briefly episode 4 that we had last month. And our topic was how Ugandan SMEs can grow when visibility costs keep rising. Our speaker for the day was Miss Agnes Pamela Mubiru, the head of communications, marketing, and PR at Cairo Bank, Uganda. For those of you who are with us on that call, I'm very sure you had a lot of takeaways and a lot of lessons. Myself, I had quite a number. So thank you, Agnes. I see she's on the call with us today. These were some of the things that were discussed and a few takeaways. So if you'd allow me, I'll just go through quickly. Marketing is an investment, not an expense. Yeah, this is something that we tackled. Many SMEs cut marketing when money is tight. However, marketing should be viewed as a seed that helps the business grow and attract future customers. Consistent marketing builds brand awareness and long-term value. The next point that we discussed was focus on one platform first. We discussed quite a number of social media platforms and where what industry would maybe work best or what platform would give which business more value. So she emphasized focusing on one platform first. Instead of trying to be everywhere, businesses should identify where their customers are most active and focus on mastering that platform. A strong presence on one channel is better than weak activity on many channels. So if you look at your customers and they're mainly active on, say, TikTok, then as a business, that's where most of your energy should go, because then that's where you have higher chances of actually converting and then speaking to your customers as well. Yeah, and then the next point was use WhatsApp as a sales tool. WhatsApp remains one of the most effective tools for SMEs in Uganda. Businesses should use catalogs, status updates, and direct customer conversations to generate sales and build relationships. So the same way we use WhatsApp on a daily to talk to our people here and there, that's the same way you need to be utilizing your WhatsApp, because we now have our WhatsApp business feature. It allows you to upload your different products or services. And then in that catalog, you're also able to attach the prices. So you don't have the back and forth of people asking, how much is this? You have like over 5 people asking you in a span of, say, 3 minutes. So you're better off putting the price out there. So you're open, you're transparent, and you're making it easy for the customer. And then we also talked about educating more than we sell. She encouraged us to follow the 80-20 rule, where 80% of content should educate, inform, or solve customer problems, while 20% should directly promote products and services. This approach builds trust and keeps customers engaged. You see, much as we are in these businesses to make money, sales and profit, at the end of the day, you need to be solving an actual problem. And then the people you're talking to, your audience, your customers, they need to also understand that this is my problem. How is this person solving that problem for me? So that's where most of your content should, focus. We also talked about building partnerships and referrals. Work with complementary businesses and encourage satisfied customers to refer others. Partnerships and referrals are low-cost ways to attract new customers and grow your network. So as you know, most of our businesses, especially as SMEs, many of us are relying on word of mouth. So if you serve a customer and they're very satisfied, they're happy, you've actually solved a problem, trust me, yes, you'll have to ask them, but in most cases, they are actually going to do that for you. They will get you the referrals. For example, in the line of work where I am, once a parent is very happy and satisfied with the quality of our diapers, they are the ones that tell other parents about it. Next thing you know, someone is calling you, I got your contact from so and so, I'm interested in this product. Yeah. So you have to make sure your customers are satisfied, they're happy, and you're solving their problems. We also talked about creating simple business systems. Every business should have a process to, first of all, capture customer inquiries, respond quickly, follow up regularly, and audit and improve the process. So as you're capturing what your customers are saying, you need to act on that information immediately where necessary. And where you're going to take a while, you still need to let the customer know. Say, for example, there are some service centers we go to and they let you know, for this kind of case, you're going to need probably 2 weeks, you have conclusive feedback. Or for some instances, they'll tell you in 24 hours, this will be activated, or, so you need to provide those timelines so that the customers are also aware and you're not leaving them hanging. And then simple systems improve customer retention and support business growth. When you have systems that are properly aligned, your entire value chain, this speaks into the other, you have your team working together, and so on and so forth, you have a higher chance of retaining customers, and also your business is going to grow. Then we also looked at tracking the numbers. Do not focus only on likes and followers, especially when it comes to social media. Track capital invested, the business expenses, the marketing costs, and the net profits. For all you know, you may be saying, I'm making, say, 10 sales a day, I am making money. But then when you come down to look at it, when you look at the capital you invested, the marketing budgets you have put in, you're actually not making any profits. You'll find sometimes you're just breaking even. So if you're tracking these numbers on a daily or weekly basis, it gives you a better picture. You plan better because you can easily foresee what your next steps should be. Yeah. These figures help measure business performance and guide decision making. We also talked about separating business and personal money. And this is the challenge that I want to believe most SMEs are facing. So business owners should use dedicated business accounts and maintain proper records. This improves financial discipline, supports growth, and increases access to financing. How? you can easily tell where you're having what did she call them, leakages, yeah, where the money is coming from, where the money is going. You get to understand how your money is moving, not just when it comes to expenses and marketing, but also when you're, say, looking at paying your staff or you're giving bonuses. You easily track how your money is performing in the different aspects of your business. Yeah. And then our main takeaway from that call was SMEs do not need huge marketing budgets to grow. Success comes from building strong systems, focusing on the right customers, creating valuable content, tracking business performance, and maintaining financial discipline. So, for those of us that were not on that call, I hope from this recap you can pick a thing or two that you can apply in your businesses. If you'd allow me, before I introduce our topic for today, which is building a simple sales system, let me introduce our speaker who actually kept time, guys. Our speaker was on the call before all of you. So let me see some hand claps for our speaker. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah. So our speaker today is an accomplished sales, marketing, and distribution leader with extensive experience across the telecommunications and FMCG sectors in Uganda. He is widely recognized for his expertise in sales management, route to market strategy, commercial growth, customer acquisition, and distribution network development. He is passionate about building scalable commercial systems that drive revenue growth, expand market reach, and deliver sustainable business performance. Our speaker today currently serves as Senior Manager, Home Broadband Sales and Distribution at MTN Uganda, where he leads initiatives focused on expanding market penetration, strengthening distribution channels, and driving customer growth. He has also held leadership roles in sales and distribution management within Uganda's telecommunications and consumer goods industries, gaining significant experience in commercial strategy and customer engagement. He holds a Master of Business Administration, an MBA, and is a member of the Chartered Institute of Marketing. He's an MCIM. He also holds the Certified Digital Finance Practitioner Certificate, reflecting his commitment to continuous professional development and innovation in business and financial services. Beyond his corporate career, our speaker is an entrepreneur, business mentor, speaker, and trainer who actively supports professionals and business leaders in areas of sales excellence, leadership, personal branding, business growth, and commercial transformation. Through his business engagements, training programs, and speaking platforms, he continues to inspire individuals and organizations to build strong customer-focused businesses and sustainable growth strategies. Our speaker today is known for his practical, results-oriented approach, combining strategic thinking with real-world business experience to help organizations achieve measurable impact and long-term success. Guys and ladies on the call, join me welcome our speaker today, Mr. Apollo Lubwama, MBA, AIM, CDFP. Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Apollo. I see we have you on the call already. Kindly, that floor is yours.
Okay. Thanks very much, our host. It's my pleasure to lead the webinar series today. on one of the what I call the core principle of life and the critical skills in life, which is selling. So I'm really privileged by the opportunity given by Contrive Media to lead the agenda, as I think what this is one of my goals in life. I say, before I leave the earth, what can we do for the sales? So, ladies and gentlemen, I think allow me, we start. I think we'll be going up to 7. I saw our time as really moving very fast. So I've prepared a simple deck which will be taken through on how really do we build systems which, and also addressing some of the challenges which some SME are facing, but as well all sales people and sales organizations. So as you heard about my profile, I don't want to repeat it. I think the moderator has done justice on it. So just allow me dive into business. Okay, allow me share my screen. Just give me a minute. I don't know whether I need to share my photo. Oh, it's fine, we can proceed.
Mr. Apollo, you can proceed. Has it dropped? No, it's still on.
I don't know, you can confirm if my screen is visible.
Yes, it is.
Okay, thanks very much. I'll start with some bit of reality check. And whoever is on the call, whether you are an entrepreneur, you're running a startup, maybe you should be employed somewhere. This is a reality check. What everyone thinks is the upper mem, but the reality is the down. Who said it's easy? It has never been easy at all. I think I'm lucky to have spent my career, I think the past 15 years or so, selling. One thing I will tell you, it's full of the second mem. It's all about ups and down. You get on the road, you wake up one day, you go down, you raise up, it's green somewhere, you hit your commission check. Before you know it, it's raining, you need to cross a certain bridge, you get up again to the top, probably you hit your budget, and again you go deep where you find the shark, it's raining, you move on. That's the story. However, I don't know whether you know that whoever is in the business, whatever you are doing, just know you're in sales. Think about any person who's doing anything. You can talk about the big corporates, the startups. Talk about a lady who is carrying probably a banana basket in downtown. They are all in sales. A border guy, whoever you are seeing. However, this is a reality check. So as you're going through our topic today, we should know that it has never been easy. Yet, we can't do with selling. In a business to survive, this is what it takes. Now, there's what we call the myth of sales. Some people think there is a silver bullet. It's something you need to do. Even when we talk about the systems, the methodologies, which works, I can tell you, and this one, take it from me, and it's backed by the past 15 years. The best sales strategy ever is hard work. In the end of that day, you need to put in the effort. Be it digital, be it traditional, whatever you are doing, hard work, you need to put in the effort. You need to put in the commitments, you need to put in resources to really drive the numbers. This is how I summarize our engagement tonight, which is building a simple sales system, how to turn leads into paying customers. As I said, AM to PM, you find me at MTN Uganda, where I'm leading a team which connecting homes. I'm lucky to have worked on key projects at a national level. I started my career at where we led the country from analog to digital. If you remember the digital migration, so I spent about 7 years until when I left, and then I joined Vengas. At Vengas, we are on the clean energy mission. So I also pushed some metals into people's home. Then I left. I went to drive some of the digital finance agenda, which I did at Wave, and also Stanbic FlexPay, and now I'm connecting homes. So 7 p.m., that's what I've been doing. Beyond PM, you find me at I'm now focusing on some of the entrepreneurship space. So I'm running one of the core specialty running business in Uganda, Apollo Running Store, where now we're on a mission to keep runners running. As you've heard, I've also seen some bit of blackboards, and I'm an MBA student. I'm a member of Chartered Institute of Marketing in UK. I'm also a certified digital finance practitioner by Tufts University in USA. I'm also an agile student. I hold a bachelor BBA in marketing. That's from ICT University in Cameroon, and also I have a Uganda diploma in business studies from Academy Business School. What is the reality of sales? Of course, to me, there's one thing I believe: most businesses do not have a sales problem, and this one I say it practically from both the corporate environment, where I've been for the past 15 years, but also from the mere startups, because now I'm running about 2 businesses. I know there is no sales problem. What everyone is facing currently is simply a lead management problem, a follow-up problem, and a consistency problem. People think getting inquiries, getting likes is selling. But the big question, what do we do? There's what we call everyone is focusing on output, which is a sale, but no one is focusing on the input. So that's for me is a problem which I've found out, and we are going to deep dive on how do we turn around the narrative. So the simple sales system, how does it evolve? What do you need to do? Because everyone looks for sales. Sale is an output. No one is willing to put in the efforts, which are the input. So I remember, for me, when I'm engaged with the sales team and salespeople, I focus on the input, because when you get the inputs right, you guarantee the output, which is the sale. So the system, until when you are very sure your system is working and oiled very well, it starts with the lead. Forget about selling if you don't have a lead generation machine. I can give you an example of my personal business I run at the running business. And I tell people, one of my flagship products is running shoes. But most people think I sell shoes. I tell them I'm not selling shoes. I am in a running business. So whenever I go on a running turf, could be on the road, could be a running event, I go to generate leads, to find for customers, to find for my potential customers. How do you generate leads? It's all about defining your business, understanding your customer profile, and then you start positioning your business in that line. So lead generation is very critical. Lead is any person you suspect or you think may have a problem, and then your business has a solution for that problem. The more people you have in that state, that's how you are likely to end up closing a sale. If you don't do this, thinking that everyone is your customer, you end up wasting a lot of time on people who don't make decisions, people who don't actually going to support your growth. For example, in my business, I'll tell you that when I go for some running events, sometimes I go as a vendor, but there are events which I don't go to. For example, Rotary Cancer Run. Some of those I don't, because you see those are charity runs. But I know when it comes to core marathon, for example, Kase, Renzo Marathon, Good Marathon, that's where I find customers, and that's how I generate my leads. So think about your business, think about what you are doing. Is everyone your customer? Do you understand who's your customer? How do you qualify them? How do you profile them? Do you have a persona profiling for them? That's the bigger question. Then when you get the lead generation, the next step which you need to pay close attention is the lead capture. How do you capture your leads? Do you have tools? Do you just see people just engage about them? Because right now there are so many tools you can use to do your lead capture. There are a lot of tools outside there. There are a lot of digital tools. You can ask AI, which tools can you use? It could be a simple Google Sheet, which can help you capture leads and then qualify them. Because in the lead process, we have 3 types of leads. We have the cold, we have the warm, and then we have the hot. The hot is someone who has given you appointment, probably tomorrow or Monday or end of year. That's a hot lead. You know that this person has a problem. Then a cold is someone who's neither here nor there. You've not yet decided, but is likely to buy. And then the cold, don't waste time on the cold leads because they will never mature. They're going to waste your time, your resources. That one very just. So you qualify them, as I've said, a lead which is cold, hot, and warm. The focus is always on the 2, warm and cold. That's where you spend your resources, your time, and everything. Then the 4th one is follow-up. Follow-up is where your revenues hides. And I'll show you, have some statistics which prove that. Follow-up is where our revenue hides. We don't have follow-up mechanisms. You find salespeople, they're just there for them. They are just looking for today's food. But how do you build your pipeline? How do you build your income that every day you move into what we call ABC? Always be closing. And the only way you can move into the ABC mode is to follow or to have the system which is well-oiled, well captured, and also well engineered, such as you deliver the business goals. After follow-up, don't forget to convert or to close a sale. There are some people, they do everything, but the end goal is here. And this, at a conversion stage, is what we call the output. And the challenge I found with most of the salespeople and sales organization, the focus is on conversion. Everyone is asking you, how many have you closed? No one is asking you, how many leads have generated? How many leads have you captured? How many leads have you qualified? How many follow-ups have we made? And to me, this is the real job. Stage 1 to 4, it's a real job. If you are to invest money, if you are to invest resources, you should invest in stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, stage 4. Because at stage 5, it's a guarantee if you do the 1 to 4, the 1 to 4. In the end of the day, just help me and retain those customers. I don't know if you heard about a metric called NPS, the Net Promoter Score. How many of your existing customers are likely to recommend your business to a friend? And that's where growth and scaling exist. For example, in my running business, I get most of my customers in referrals. I ensure that all of my customers, I know them, I follow them, and at the end of the day, they refer. They keep on refer. Retain them. Whenever you get a new product, you get it, you post on WhatsApp, you send it to them, and then they will ask, do you have this? Do you have this? Do you have this? And do you have? And that's how the business flows. So to me, in its short and long, 1 to 4 is critical. Leave 5 and 6. This is a must if you do 1, 2, 3, 4 things. So that's a simple sales system. But how do we do it? You need to invest in capabilities. You need to have simple technologies, at least as a bare minimum. And I know we have organizations which are now focusing on building such capabilities. Now, some of you will be asking, now, how do we generate these leads? Because we said this is a critical stage. In the 2026, you can't do business if you are not evolving digital capabilities. Social media, it's a no-brainer that now TikTok, that's where most deals are closed, most sales are happening, most conversations are happening. Everything is now on social media. Critical, the TikTok, WhatsApp business. Guys, we should stop having WhatsApp if you're not getting a sale per day. If you're not closing any business, why are you on WhatsApp? What are you doing there? In my business, whenever I get my shoe, the first thing I do, take a photo, post. And I can assure you, there is no single day I have posted the shoe on my WhatsApp, I fail to get an inquiry or to close a sale. If you are doing any business, be consistent. Just do it. Put it there. You never know. Because that's where customers are doing it. I mean, that's the main conversion point now. So socials are very critical. Instead of posting your photo, doing post your business. Be consistent on it. I've seen magic around there. So TikTok is very critical. WhatsApp is very critical. Referral is talking about referral. Is another lead generation channel. If your customers are happy, they will refer. Partnerships. I talked about how I run business, my running business. I realized that for me to get business, where do I need to be? I need to be in the right place at the right time. Because I repositioned into running, so now I connect into running communities. That's why you find me in Guru City Marathon, you find me in Fort Portal City Marathon, you find me in Kasese Marathon, you find me in running clubs, the Gatsy, they know as the running shoe guy. So from there, whenever you get the critical partners, I think you can easily build your business and scale it. Sometimes we need to do things alone, but my recommendation is very critical. If you are doing any business, you understand it very well. Look for partnership. Who are those people who are going to help you close and gain customers? Critical. So event and activation, talking about that. WhatsApp, that's a no-brainer. And then the walk-ins. If you are running a brick and mortar store, I think walk-in. Every customer who comes to your store, ask for their contact. Build a profile. Get to know them. When you walk into my running shop, the first thing I ask you, what are your running needs? Yeah? What are your running needs? What type of runner are you? Are you a beginner? Are you a professional runner? Are you a structured runner? Do you do trail running? Do you do, road? So the moment I understand you, I should be able to advise you. The moment you advise a customer, and that drives you into what we call consultative selling. Because when you come to my shop, you don't come to come a show. You come to consult and you're speaking to an expert. Some of us, we don't even take time to study, to understand the businesses we are doing, such that when you're engaging a customer, you become a consultant. You sound tactical. Me, I don't manufacture shoes, but I take time to read about shoes. I know the drops. I know which shoes dropping. I know the shoe for trail. I know the shoe. We do gait analysis. You try to expand your knowledge such that you position yourself not as a salesperson, but as a consultant. And just around there, the more people you engage in that way, professional way, you are likely to close the business. So you generate your leads, you build your pipeline. Every day you should be having a customer who's giving you some money, either in the corporate space or in your personal business. If you are not doing that, then there is a problem. Then we go to the leads qualification. How do you qualify a lead? You know, everyone comes as a lead. I talked about the 3 types of leads: the warm, the cold, and then the hot. Question number 1, you need to understand, does the customer have a need? If the customer doesn't have a need, why are you selling? And why are you wasting your time? Because in the end of the day, that customer will churn. He can give you money, but he will never come back. because you are not providing the solution to their problem. That's why you need to first understand, does that customer who's walking in, the one you're engaging on socials, the one who you met at the events, the key partnerships, do they have a need? How do you understand? How do you know that they have a need? By asking lead questions. Then when you understand that they have a lead, you need also to understand, do they have the budget? Do they have money? Yeah. If they don't have money, where do you place them in your lead matrix? They can become warm. You can say, okay, they don't have money now, but somehow they have a need, or they are prospective. So you place them where they're supposed to be. Then, how urgent is their need? If there is a guy who called me, he told me he's going to run comrades. Those who are in running economy, you know what comrades is. Any runner would dream to run a comrade. He told me, look for me a proper shoe I'm going to put on when I'm going for comrades. That marathon is always in South Africa, where people go for 90 kilometers. It's almost a full day run. This guy had an urgent need. And I knew I would price him as I want, because if I could get what he wanted. So this person became a hot lead on my ladder. I knew whenever I went to source, I had to look for a shoe. And I think I delivered the issue last week. Yeah, it was last week. And he gave me some good money. So how do you then understand the customer's need, and how do you urgently attend to them? Lastly, there are businesses, for example, in the B2B space, you need to understand who makes the decision. If you are, for example, when we are selling the internet, connecting homes, who makes a decision to connect a home? Is it a mother? Is it a father? That's the person you need to focus on. Sometimes we waste a lot of time talking to the wrong people. How do you then qualify all these, understand them very well, and then you quickly move into the follow-up and win sales. So in the follow-up, as we said, revenue hide in the follow-up. We look at the statistics, as I said, but what do you do? For example, in the B2B environment, I think here I speak more on the B2B. B2C, always we go into the closing moment. But some products, the sales cycle is quite different, where it takes quite long. You can't close the sale there and then. That's always in the B2B space. So day one, okay, always introduction. Day one, you start introduction. You introduce your product, you introduce your value proposition. Guys, always remember about your value proposition. Customers don't buy products and services. They buy solutions. So, can we start seeing whatever we are selling, whatever business we are doing as solutions? But the only way you can know that they are solutions, you must understand their problems. So, day one, this is the follow-up metric. Introduce yourself. Introduce yourself, introduce your organization, introduce your business, introduce your proposition. After that, after understanding the problem you introduce, day two, you do what we call a value reminder. Yeah, because you understand their problem. After introduction, remind them about your value. What are you delivering? What are they missing? You can as well go into day four. After value, day three, you may not go back. Therefore, you share testimonial, case studies, how you solved a certain problem. I've just told you about a customer who wanted to go for comrades and they solved their problem. So therefore, I can come back and tell, hey, do you know, by the way, I have a colleague who's going for comrades, and I got him a girl Cayenne of 30. That's what he's going to use. I'm reminding you, and I'm giving you a proper case. Now, if you're a runner, we're already connected. The conversations are already flowing. And then after day 4, you give a space. Day 7, that's in about a week. You give an offer and also create the urgency. I'm running out of the stock. By the way, your offer is ending. You become tactical somehow. I can guarantee you can close the sale. You can close the sale. Now, all these, you should understand what we call the customer journey. If I can borrow the Cutlass 5A, a model. You remember any customer you have, be it that person who's coming to your shop to buy 1 kilo of sugar. It could be someone who's, buying any service you're offering. Mention it, whatever you are selling, there is a journey. And in life and in sales, professional sales, you should always map the journey. And you must understand at what stage does this customer is. For example, if you look at the Cutlass 5A, we have awareness, we have appeal, ask, act, and advocate. You must understand the journey, and also at this stage, this is what I should do. At this stage, this is what I should do. At this stage, this is what I should do. If I use an example of my running business at awareness stage, what do I do to ensure that customers get to know that there is a run specialty business somewhere? You could be selling insurance, maybe. I had about a Weeby Pampers. I think it's one of the premium Pampers. And so how do you make that one, that brand, get into people's minds? I think that's the first stage. Sometimes we don't do that. We think that we'll just go do the pitch, customers are not aware, but I think it's very critical. It should be in your small world, but awareness is very critical. You can do this on social media, get your social media flyer, post it. Guys, small businesses don't do big things. They do small things well, and they are consistent. Then appeal. They develop interest and like what you offer. Sometimes, but how do you know that now these customers are moving towards that stage? Then ask. At that point, the customer will share more information. They want to understand more. Yeah, they'll ask questions. Are you sounding technical? Because I've seen most of my customers, they'll ask, I need a running shoe. The first question I'll ask you, where are you going to run from? Are you going to do a trail run? So I'll tell you, for the trail run, I have trailers, I start recommending shoes, the Hoka, which model, the Gaviot, Sierra, you get. Yeah, if it's an Essex, I'll tell you this is shoes made for this. You get, such that you give information. The more information you give to the customer, that's the level of confidence you build. Then you act. At this moment, this is the business where a customer makes a purchase decision, and then advocates. I think that's the retention and referral stage. Then we can move to practice session. I think that's execution tips. Speed wins. Don't be too slow. Don't hurry a lot, but you need to give a customer some bit of space, but not too much, because sometimes if you don't educate them, if you don't advocate, again, you may lose them. So if you are operating in a highly competitive environment, for example, in the ISP space where we are, you find that when I'm selling fiber at your gate, if you're a customer, there are other 4 ISP. You have MTN, you have Airtel, you have Savannah, you have Canal Box. So in that environment, speed wins. You must move fast. You must go such that the customer go through the journey very, very fast, such that you don't give allowance to the competition. Build trust before selling. Some sales people, they focus on closing a sale. That's very, very dangerous. Focus on building a relationship. That's how you get referrals. That's how you build the trust. And then simplify customer onboarding. Some of the onboarding journeys are very complicated, especially when you come to the digital sales. Yeah. When you have, for example, a self-service portals or on self onboarding portal, they are not so clear. Customers, they don't know what next step to take. Your prompt payments are not working. OTPs are not dropping, and then you end up losing and also frustrating the customer. That's why you need to to do the journey audit. So and then you keep on optimizing to ensure that your journey and every stage, everything happened. The reason why you need to also simplify the journey, that's the guess of everything about selling. Then track every lead, that's very critical, and then use customer feedback to really cross. Of course, I've given you example as I've been going on. We talk about these tools which you should be adopting. The Google Forms, this is a basic one. We have the CRM tools. I know there are some developers who can do this. Then we have Excel dashboards. WhatsApp Business is a critical one, and also basic because everyone is having WhatsApp. And then the sales analytics can also help you cross. Now, as I said, it's a very tough game. If you look at this meme, guys, selling is not easy. Clearly, if you look at this guy, first day of the month in sales, it could be the first day in the business. The first day you open your doors, it's easy. You are hoping things are going to work. The last day of the month, it could be the last of the year, it gets tough. However, if we follow the processes, I think I can get it right. Now, prospecting. This is a modern way. You know, if you've been in sales for quite long, you've heard about cold calling. And it's a classic example of selling. However, in this day and era, if you are selling in 2026, those who are just starting the journey and those who have been there over a decade, we know that cold calling is dead. That's what that meme says. Cold calling is dead, is under the sea. We can only see skeleton. What works right now? We talked about multi-channel engagements and also leverage the channels. As you can see on top, social selling. We talk about social media. It's a key driver. I told you every day, I get a lead, I get a sale. Emails, email marketing. What are you doing about it? Look at how a salesperson is smiling with the social selling. So it's a no-brainer. We just need to find a way of leveraging social selling. If you're still 100% focusing on cold calling, it could be in your organization, you are not building capacities, you are not building capabilities to adopt these emerging technologies, AI, you should be selling, you should not be selling in 2026. So multi-channel is a way to go. Always, we need a bigger pipeline. We'll see what, why do you need a bigger pipeline? Do you know that if you're a salesperson or if you are running a business, how many customers can call you for your service? That's a big question. How many that every day before I leave home, there's someone who's giving me a call that, hey, I need a shoe. Hey, I need a running something. I need a running girl. How many? So every morning you need to think about a bigger pipeline. A bigger pipeline. That's a game changer. Even if you're running a retail business, if a person come and buy a kilo of sugar, you need to remind them, when are they coming back? One of the business I did was, as I told you in my career, was gas, LPG. You know, LPG has a critical metric called CTR, cylinder turnaround ratio. This metric, you know, you focus on doing what we call a metal push, pushing cylinders into people's homes. Now, the business is in how many of those customers come back to refill. That's why you need a big base. such that you get more people coming to refill, and then that's the business. So in your business, whatever you are doing, if you're selling loans in the bank, those selling insurance, those in the internet space, those in the pay TV, solar, smartphones, devices, you're gonna need a bigger pipeline if you are to manage the business. Let us look at statistics. Friends, sales will win from follow-up cadence and not conversation, conversion discipline. This statistics is from National Sales Executive Association. They say 48% of salespeople never follow up with a prospect. Now, forget about salespeople. Let us come to our business. How many of us are following up from the prospect? The data shows 48% of salespeople, even business people, never follow up. And that is suicide. They continue to say 25% of salespeople make a second contact and stop. It's a hard job. I've been telling you. It's hard. Yeah? One day, I think I was still at my choice at DSTV. I set out the team. I told them, guys, today we are going to look for people who say no. I told him, the report I want, get me how many people say we don't want your product. But if you have 25 of salespeople, make a second contact. It means when I meet you, hey, I am from MTN, I'm selling internet. You tell me, I don't want your internet. You guys, mantama, you go away. You move, you go to a second one. Tell them, hey, I'm from MTN, I'm selling internet. No, don't disturb me. They stop there. That's 25%. Think about the sales team you are running. See, think about your employees. If 25% of them, they do two attempts and they stop, then there's a problem. 12% of salespeople only make 3 contacts and stop. Only 10% of salespeople make more than 3 contacts. It's true. In my earlier days, I think in about around 2012 there, when I'm working with Izuku, I remember after signing for facilitation in the morning, we could just go and sleep at City Square. You can only go in Chikuba, look for one person, you go and sleep. Do you have systems? Do you have capabilities to track, to understand what's happening in the trade? If you don't, keep an eye on this stat. However, 2% of sales are made on the first contact. So if 48% of sales people never follow up, and 25% of sales people make a second contact and stop, only 2% of sales are made on the first contact. I think you clearly see where we are losing the game. 3% of sales are made on the second contact, 5% of sales are made on the first contact, 10% of sales are made on the fourth contact, 80% of sales are made on the 5th to 12th contact. Now, if you're a sales manager, you're a commercial leader, you're a proprietor, you are head of sales, mention them. Do you have capabilities to really track the effort your team is putting in? If not, remember the first 4 inputs are the key drivers. If you're not doing this, you are likely to face what we call a sales graveyard. As I come to an end, I didn't know this guy. He has a song, but in sales, we change it. And then we say, it's a lead you are looking for. Lead generation and prospecting consistency. This is a critical input KPI. Commercial leaders, sales leaders, let us stop looking for sales and start looking for input. That's the call out. Track input. Don't track output. The moment you focus on output, that's tactical. Long term, it's input. How many people are you meeting a day? How many are saying yes? How many are saying no? How many are you qualifying? How big is your prospect? And lastly, this is one of my favorites, got Brian Tracy. He says, keep your sales pipeline full by prospecting continuously. Under the word continuously. Always have more people to see than you have then you have time to see them. You get it? Always have more people to see, yeah, than you have time to see them in the end. So that's a prospecting mindset. How many people do you have to see? You just see, but I don't have time. Can I meet you tomorrow? Some people, it's the opposite. You have time, but you don't have people to see. Go and have conversations. Meet people, connect. That's where businesses are. Just a reminder, it's a hard game. That's how transformation happens. 15 years down the road, you feel burning out, but you need to keep putting in the effort. As you see, before working in sales, before starting the business, how it looks like in the end of the day. Ladies and gentlemen, that's how I see things. Back to you. Thanks.
Wow, wow, wow. Yeah, I see that the hands, the thumbs up. Thank you so much, Mr. Apollo. Thank you so much for accepting our invitation. That has been, wow. I honestly don't have the words to explain it or to describe it. But as I can see the response from the different people who are on the call, it's really, really been an insightful one. It's been a great one. So members on the call, you're welcome. Members on the call, don't forget to join we have a WhatsApp group. For those of you that are already on the group, it's okay. For those of you that are not, the link is in the chat room. You can join for more updates about the next topics that we'll be discussing, because this series are running throughout the year. So, Mr. Apollo, as we wait for other members, if you have a question, you can put your hand up or you can share in the chat room and I'll read them out for Mr. Apollo. I have a few questions of my own based on the different areas you've discussed from. And the first one, given your advice not to waste time on cold leads, what is the most efficient method for immediately distinguishing cold leads from warm or hot leads during the initial lead capture stage to minimize wastage of resources?
To me, it has been always around a problem. Does the customer has a problem or no? And that's a tactical move. How do we find out that the customer has a problem? Because sometimes we think that everyone is our customer, but how do we get to position our business or whatever you're doing to solve for that? I can give you an example of, I like talking about my running business. I started it as one sports. I was doing general sports, football, Arsenal jersey, gym things. But now I realized that because my business is in Chanja, it's called now Apollo Running. I realized that, but everyone can do this. If you want to start a sports business, you go to Arua Park, you get Arsenal jersey at a certain amount, then you do markup. When I used to drive from Muntinda to Chanja, counting how many people are doing that business, I realized it's easy. You buy football, you come and do what? Then I said, no, I'm putting out of years in marketing, doing sales, also corporate. What have I learned? Then I said, let me reposition to running. Then I said, how many people can mimic running business? First of all, they don't know about shoes. They don't want to run. They don't want to put in efforts. So I had to reposition from running from one sport to Apollo Running. And I said, now I'm no longer doing sports. I'm taking care of runners. So for me, when you come to my shop, the first question I ask you, are you running? Then I know. The moment you say you're a runner, which group? This one. When you say you are not running, then, okay, I can sell to you, but I may not. There are people, you see that this is a critical customer. And that level of qualification the whole story, you understand the customer, but also you position, you understand whether you have problem, you position your solution. I think for me that's the best qualification. So you need to, as a salesperson, you need to spend more time to understand that part. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you. So I take it as salespeople, we really need to do our homework. It's not all about knocking door to door, but which doors are we knocking at? Thank you so much. You've answered it well. My next question is, the follow-up metric you shared is tailored more for the B2B sales cycle. How would you recommend adjusting this 5 to 7 day follow-up sequence for a B2C business that might need probably a much faster conversion rate or conversion time?
Yeah. When you look at the B2C environment, I think for me, the sales moment is just around there. It's all about how tactical you are. And in my career, I've always believed in the sharp salespeople. Ntera bayita abayaye, abaana b'oku street. Because omuyaye alina kuguza agumateeka. You can't be in sales when you don't have a seventh sense. Because a customer should open the wallet and say, take my money. That's in the B2C environment. That's what you go for, because the sales cycle is very short. You go out to close a sale. I always tell my guys who are doing fiber, even when I was still at Mouth Choice, that how do you live without closing a sale? Because it's a business consumer. A customer you go with the mentality of getting someone who say, take my money. So the follow-up, that one is immediate. However, when it comes to the pipeline driver and how do you develop the pipeline, your qualification and the cycle should be short. The B2B, it should be long because it has a lot of decision making. Decision corridors are quite big. But for the B2C, I think for me it calls for a hyper closer. Yeah, but Ferry, you should be really on top of the game. Yeah.
Wow, that's that's a nice way to put it. But yeah, I think that makes quite a lot of sense actually. Yeah. So as before I go for my last question, let me just check in the chat room. Okay, let me read some from the chat room before I get to my last question. So we have Mr. Eddie Msinguzi. Salespeople get mounted with a lot of pressure. Mounted with a lot of pressure and many KPIs. Do you think this is necessary?
Yeah, I think if you see the men's, you can't do sales without pressure. For me, I think as a salesperson, you should develop the guild, what we call the grit to manage the pressure. Because it's a pressure job, it's a hard job. That's why that was my opening remark. If you could see that it's already hard, everyone knows. So there is no job you are going to do, especially sales, when it's hard, when it's not hard. So to me, pressure is very necessary. How do you contain it is your problem as a salesperson. If you cannot manage it, you are doing the wrong job. You're on the wrong job because you must deliver the number.
Yeah.
There's no two about it.
I agree. So, Mr. Eddie, pressure is part of the JD if you're in sales.
Part of the JD, sure.
Yeah. Then Jim says, I think people who sell insurance policies master the art of following up. There is someone who followed up with me for 3 good years. Wow.
Yeah, I agree. And you know, when you do the game quite low, you start even qualifying the a product. So insurance, I think for me, if I'm looking for salespeople, is insurance guys. I think one of the hardest sales is among the hard sales. And I think, you know, sales tuguyita mulimu gw'abanaku. I'm very sure everyone here, if you're in sales, tewali yasoma kutunda. No one started selling. Ensi ya Ghana ne bikuba, simanyi wasoma, simanyi IT biki, simanyi accountant, then you ended up here. So then but you look at insurance guy, you look waliwo abatunda bano ab'emmotoka ya code who I'm forgetting abakola car logbook. Platinum. Hard game, man. Hard game. You go for now, guy, whatever, no, abatunda, these guys who are putting on necktie and plastic things. Tough game, man. Tough. So I think for me, insurance guys are one of really who are a glit guy. They are hard enough. Insurance, I give them credit. Platinum guys are tough. Of course, the guys who are selling loans, it's also not easy. You come to pay TV, if you've done DSTV, Go TV, if you've done solar, you are a hard man. You are a hard man, really. Yeah. So insurance, I think they have mastered their game because the sales cycle is quite long. Selling insurance policy is not easy because, first of all, customers don't understand that they have a problem. Yeah, there are few customers who understand that they have an insurance problem. So now you managing that process is really a hard one. So I give them credit. I agree. Thanks.
Amazing. That's true. I've actually tried to sell insurance before, and yeah, like Eddie was asking about the pressure, it's part of the job. But yeah, they do a pretty good job. Then we have some people asking for the link. The link is in the chat room. It's been reshared. Then we have Lekasa. I have this customer who calls me every after a month asking for requirements to get my product. However, after resharing, they go silent till the next month. At what point do I drop him?
I don't know whether it's a man or woman. If it's a woman, you need to know what his intent exactly, because that's one. Two, or else you have a closing problem. Because if I have a customer who calls me every month and then it doesn't close, then that clearly there's a closing problem. Because that customer should be interested, but he lacks a trigger. Either is not sure about the problem, is not sure about the solution. For me, I would recommend that you take extra step to understand that customer very well. Does he have a problem? But since he's calling, if he doesn't have other intention, I think you just need to put in more effort. It should be a warm lead as per our discussion.
Okay, Lekasa, I hope your question is answered. And then we have Miss Amina Mwanje. Hello, my name is Amina and I do sales, but our target are corporate businesses, B2B. And best technique is walk-ins. So I'm wondering, how best can someone reach the decision maker?
Stuff. There's what we call the gate opener. You know, when we talk about gate opener, people think about the gate, the normal gate. But in the corporate space, especially in the B2B, also you need to understand. But you're a girl, Amina, how would you fail to cross a B2B? You are even hajat. Sometimes use girl of power. No genda, no bachankalanya. I mean, whatever it takes. Yeah, because that's the best technique. That's why in the corporate and B2B, you need to get some really good looking chap to go and open the gates. As long as you trust yourself, you're in control of yourself, you can always get it right. It's not easy. You need to get a gate opener. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really not. I think it also goes back to when we are doing this research and background checks on our leads.
Yeah.
We need to do proper research, because then it helps us know probably in this decision-making chain, who's the influencer, who's the buyer, which then...
And what do they want? Sometimes bagala sente. I want it. You get sometimes it will get Uganda. Muntu agamba yogera Oluganda ate n'okola ki? Nodda mu n'opipira.
Fair point.
Yeah.
Okay. Don Brand says B2C is a spot-on clause. There is no room for follow-ups.
Sure.
And then he also says insurance isn't hard. Insurance hard, that's a misconception. If one says insurance is hard, then they are targeting the wrong customers.
Yeah. I think it's hard from a problem. Most customers don't understand that they have a problem.
That's true. I
able to sell,
yeah. Cool. Saying I believe in our country, it's more of a mindset when it comes to insurance. So probably that's the one thing they need to first work on, because when you get to someone who knows they have a need for it, it's an easy sell. But then, like you've kept saying over and over, the client, they are aware they actually have a need. Do they even know their problem at the moment that you approach them? So for most of them, they don't even understand what insurance is. So if you're coming to them and you're telling them insurance is ABCD, we need to first work on a whole mindset change before we then get to the selling bit.
Agree.
Yeah. Hello, my name is Priscilla and I help retail businesses turn stock into revenue. Question: how do I make a potential lead give me business? Not, he's been tossing me around.
Retail business turn into revenue.
She helps businesses turn stock into revenue.
Stock into revenue.
Yes, her question is, how do I make a potential lead give me business? Not, he's been tossing me around.
Yeah, I think that's a good niche. That you, if I'm a retailer and I have stock, how do I quickly turn it into revenue? If I got you right. I remember during my early days, there was a guy, I think he was importing some stationaries, cutleries, pens, clear bags. So now this Muzei was operating around the mini price, somewhere there, way back. He got in the things, but he never knew where to sell them. So the quick way is one, to, this is a very practical. If I'm a retailer and I have stocks and I'm seated, the cost of holding stock is really eating me up. It's all about how quickly and what do you do to solve my problem. For me, I think it's all about proving your case. But I find it a very practical scenario, because if you're able to take my stock and then you in the evening get me money in the evening, why not to continue doing business? So I think we can catch up to explore more how we can, what kind of retailer, what are you targeting, and how easily can you do that? I'll share my contact and then we can look at the strategies on how we can turn around that very fast. Thanks.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Apollo. So guys, just keep joining the WhatsApp group. I'll be sharing Mr. Apollo's details along with the presentation a bit later on. Yeah. Mugisha says, even internet is hard, but your guidance and expertise has made it smooth. There is Tony. Hello, Apollo. Thanks for the session. Drop me the latest running shoe for casual runs. Tony, join the WhatsApp group. We'll be letting Mr. Apollo share the shoes. By the way, I also need a pair. I'm a runner.
Yeah, sure. I'll definitely reach out.
Don Brian says, all sales are equally hard. The differentiator is the ease of accessing customers that make the actual difference. Okay. Then someone was commenting about girl power. Maybe you'll throw some more light on that in the next session. Hello, Apollo. What is your perspective on the traditional sales culture being replaced with the modern sales tradition?
I think, without doubt, traditional models are being disrupted. But I believe in Africa, more so Uganda, we may still have a runway, but any person who's going to survive in a sales environment in the next 5 years, you should quickly start adopting digital models. AI is here. As they say, to never replace you, to replace those who are not adopting. So capabilities, I think those are very, very critical. You just need to start, diversifying into how a modern sales environment is looking like. Start adopting some lead generation tools, qualifying tools, and I think that's what the future is. Otherwise, AI, everyone will be disrupted if you don't move very, very fast.
Thank you so much. In the interest of time, I'll just have 2 more questions, one from the chat room and my last question, so we can let people enjoy the rest of their evening. Mr. Collins says, hello, Apollo. I'm Collins. We go way back. How many touch points does it realistically take to close a fiber internet sale? And what's the right channel? Excuse me. And what's the right channel that can speed up the process? Call,
okay.
WhatsApp, or in person?
Fiber, I think it's the door-to-door is even when we measure our channel, the inbound, outbound, digital, door-to-door is very critical. Find that most of our sales in our channel mix hit about 80% through door-to-door. So since it's somehow a technical sell, and I think door-to-door in person is but we see emerging channels like digital coming up. So, but I think to be specific, in person is very critical for that.
Okay, and okay, Daniel is the very last one in the chat room. Then I go to the very last one. How do we manage target workers in the space of agents management?
All salespeople, we are looking for money.
Yeah.
And the target workers, target is all about money. So the model which works is always, it has been, how do you quickly change your incentive plan from the back what we call the back margin to forward margin, such that when a guy comes to the job, he knows if I make a sale, I go back with money. Think about that guy who wake up, put on a necktie and carries plastic. Maybe on each product is eating 300 shillings, but he's getting his money. I remember when I came to MTN, first thing I did in device was to change the margin from forward to back. I mean from back to forward. That when you sell a device, you go and get the money. So for me, margin play and changing the incentive plan, it's critical to managing the target workers. Otherwise, for example, if you go to DSO, these are device selling outlets, the retailers, you tell them whenever you sell, you take off your money. That model works, and I've seen it succeeding products and services in the market.
Thank you. I hope that answers you, Daniel. Lastly, I see some more questions are still coming in, guys, but in the interest of time, you'll share them on the WhatsApp group, and then we'll share them with Mr. Apollo. We can as well attach them in the summary of the presentation that we'll be sharing. So my last question is you emphasize the importance of the Net Promoter Score, the NPS, in retention stage. What are the simplest practical steps or questions a small business can use to measure and actively improve its NPS without complex enterprise tools?
Okay, when you look at NPS, it's all about how many of your customers are willing or have even tried to recommend your business to another person. So the step number one is, do you know your customers? Yeah? If you know them, for example, whoever comes to your shop, maybe to your business, could be online, offline, whatever it is, whatever touch point they are using, after making the purchase, are you able to ask them, how did you know about us? Who recommended you? How did you go to know about us? If a customer is really through a referral, we tell you, now I was recommended by so and so. Then in your database, you should go back and check. Then to your existing customers, you can also start offering what you call referral, offers. It could be 5% when you recommend a friend, maybe 10%. You can do, for example, I can say when you come, if you recommend a customer, I can give you 5% on your next purchase. I can give you a free accessory like a socks, whatever it is. So for me, those are simple tactics which can be done to really measure the success. But critical, you should have the data points which you should be able to measure in. Because sometimes you need to measure, but you don't have any data points or data set which you should be using that. So small as you are, start small. It could be on an Excel sheet, but you know your customer. Such as start building the data. Every Friday, every end of the month, do some analysis. How many of these customers are recommending? How many, if you are pushing out an offer, how many are picking it? And then you can start measuring it. Yeah.
Thank you so much. We had a hand up. I don't know, Evelyn, are you still on the call? I saw a hand up from Evelyn. I think she dropped off. Okay, thank you so much once again, Mr. Apollo, for accepting our invitation. Thank you for the beautiful presentation, the knowledge you have shared with us. Thank you so much. The different tactics that you have given us, we are definitely going to apply. I won't speak for the majority, but I know on my side I am going to apply. So thank you so much. Thank you everyone that made time for the call, everyone that kept time. Thank you everyone that has stayed till the end of the session. Thank you so much. Just a kind reminder, the WhatsApp group, the link is on the chat room. You can kindly join for more updates on the upcoming topics, speakers, and discussions. We also share the different presentations on that group as well, and also we upload on YouTube a recording of this particular one. So please like, comment, share, tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend, because at the end of the day, you don't want to be gaining this knowledge alone. You have to be winning with your friends, because how would you feel when you're parking that dream car alone? Yeah, so let's work together. Tell someone about this series, because this series are here to help us grow, especially the SME industry. So thank you so much, everyone. It's a Friday, and allow me to let you go and enjoy the rest of your evening and have a beautiful weekend. Thank you so much.